Join me today as we take a journey to meet some of the master teachers, spiritual greats, and gurus over the course of history. We will explore their main philosophies, the texts they are most often associated with, and the years in which they lived. I've personally been inspired by them all and thought I would share a small bit about them and what they believed and taught. We don't need to subscribe to any one religion to be touched, inspired, and made better by the principles espoused by any of these great ones. All we need is an open heart and mind. Let's begin. Buddha, the central figure and founder of Buddhism, revered for his teachings on enlightenment, compassion, and the nature of suffering. It is believed that he lived in the 5th century BC. The central philosophy of Buddhism revolves around the Four Noble Truths, which acknowledge the existence of suffering, identify its causes, and propose a path, the Eightfold Path, to liberation from suffering through ethical conduct, meditation, and wisdom. The Tripitaka, Pali Canon, a collection of scriptures in the Theravada Buddhist tradition, contains the primary teachings of Buddhism. It has 3 main divisions or baskets, which is what Tripitaka means. It is written primarily in the Pali language, which is an ancient Indian language closely related to Sanskrit. The texts are written in a style of prose and verse, including dialogues, discourses, and narratives. Copies of the Tripitaka are available for study and reference in Buddhist monastic libraries, research institutes, and academic institutions specializing in Buddhist studies. Digital versions may be available for download for a fee. The mindfulness movement, I believe, really has its roots in the teachings of Buddha more than anywhere else. A quote attributed to him that highlights the point is, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." Buddha and Buddhist traditions, teachers, and meditation practices have been incredibly inspirational to me over the years. It was one of the very first deep meditation practices I latched on to many decades ago. Pema Chodron, Thich Nhat Hanh, and Jon Kabat-Zinn are all authors and teachers in the Buddhist tradition that I have read, studied, and practiced under with great success. And to this day, when I begin the prayer before my meditation each morning, I invoke a long list of saints, gurus, and sages that are close to my heart, and Buddha is one of those. Jesus Christ is next. Most listening to this in the West will of course be familiar with Jesus and the teachings of Jesus, even if they are not Christians or have never studied the Bible. Many, of course, believe Jesus to be the second person of the Holy Trinity or the Son of God. We will not take up that debate here, but instead learn more about his beliefs and what principles we could perhaps learn and grow from. In fact, as we explore these great masters, we will start to come to universal or divine principles where they have so many points in common. This is one of the most exciting things for someone like me, a seeker, a student of truth, as I like to think of myself. Jesus is a central figure in Christianity, known for his teachings of love, forgiveness, and spiritual salvation. The New Testament of the Bible, particularly the 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, contain the life teachings and parables of Jesus. His teachings in Christianity emphasize love, compassion, forgiveness, and the importance of faith in God. His message centers on salvation and the establishment of God's kingdom on earth. It's believed he lived from 4 BC to 30 CE. I consider Jesus to be a master teacher, great saint, way shower, and a divine incarnation. He is another one of those I petition in prayer before my daily meditation. I have studied and tried to live by the teachings of Jesus closely over the years, but none more closely than the Sermon on the Mount. Maybe his most famous teaching. It spans 3 chapters in the book of Matthew in the New Testament, Matthew 5 through 7. It is also in the book of Luke in a slightly different form. Some of the most famous sections of this great teaching are the Beatitudes, the Golden Rule, and the Lord's Prayer. Topics covered include humility, righteousness, love, forgiveness, prayer, and ethical conduct. More than anything, Jesus emphasized love. One of the most famous quotes of his is, "Love your neighbor as yourself." Next, we turn to Lord Krishna. In Hinduism, Krishna is considered an avatar or avatara of Lord Vishnu and is revered as a teacher of spiritual wisdom and devotion. The exact historical period of Krishna's life is debated, but he is generally associated with the ancient Indian civilization of the Mahabharata, believed to have existed around 3000 BC. This makes him the earliest master teacher on our list. Krishna's teachings in Hinduism, as presented in the Bhagavad Gita, emphasize the concepts of duty, dharma, devotion, bhakti, and the realization of one's true nature, Atman, as part of the eternal divine consciousness, Brahman. The Bhagavad Gita, a sacred Hindu scripture, presents a dialogue between Prince Arjuna and Lord Krishna, who imparts spiritual wisdom and guidance on duty, devotion, and the nature of reality. Krishna is yet another master I invoke in prayer each day. Some of the great wisdom we get from Krishna are found in the following quotes. Man is made by his belief. As he believes, so he does. We're kept from our goal not by obstacles, but by a clear path to a lesser goal. Whatever happened, happened for good. Whatever is happening for good. Whatever will happen will also happen for good. One could write a thesis or make a lifetime's work to truly understand, and more than this, live out these principles of wisdom from Krishna. Both Jesus and Krishna, more than others, form the basis of my belief today, as well as my spiritual practice. I am forever indebted. The fount of wisdom, strength, and love is endless. LaoTzu, one I first became acquainted with through picking up a small book in a tiny bookstore in the bowels of Grand Central Station in New York City many years ago. He was an ancient Chinese philosopher and founder of Taoism. LaoTzu emphasized living in harmony with the Tao, or the natural way of the universe. The exact dates of LaoTzu's life are uncertain, but he's believed to have lived in the 6th century BC. The Tao Te Ching, attributed to LaoTzu, is a central text of Taoism. It consists of poetic verses that convey the principles and practices of living in harmony with the Tao. The term Tao translates to the way or path, representing the natural order or principle that underlies the universe and everything within it. The Tao is often described as an ineffable and transcendent force that is both immanent and transcendent, beyond human comprehension, yet present in all aspects of existence. It is the underlying essence that gives rise to the world, the source of all things. LaoTzu's teachings focus around aligning oneself to the Tao as a way to wisdom, peace, and harmony. Other points of focus were simplicity and spontaneity. Right on point for this channel, huh? Non-action and effortless action, balance and harmony, and humility and detachment. Much like Buddha and Krishna, detachment from human or worldly desires was a key theme. In fact, he taught detachment from desires and outcomes enables individuals to find contentment in the present moment and reduce suffering. Quotes attributed to LaoTzu include, "Do the difficult things while they are easy, and do the great things while they are small. A journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know. The wise man does not lay up his own treasures. The more he gives to others, the more he has for his own. And finally, knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom." What a joy this journey has been. I hope you enjoyed it, and I thank you for being on it with me. Living any one of the principles from any of these great masters could radically change lives. What I have found for myself is the way in which I interpret and understand their teachings has evolved as I grow. What I love about their teachings is, on some level, it is accessible to just about everyone. This is why I refer to them as universal principles or universal truths. They transcend religion, time, and this world. They are true yesterday, today, tomorrow, and forever. Will you share your thoughts in the comments? What do you know about these great souls? How have you lived by these principles? Or maybe one of the ones shared resonated with you and you want to try it on for size. Let us know how you make out as we grab hold of the simpler things for a complex world. Talk soon.